what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Urban D, and I'm coming at you right here, live and direct, and you watching The Zone. Keep it locked, don't go nowhere.
In a place of immense poverty and oppression, emerged this new urban form of expression. In a landscape of gangs, drugs, and depression, this voice became a light and a blessing. 73, the South Bronx was its dressing. They clothed the culture's formation. Black and brown was the predominant original persuasion for this gritty inner city communication. It started rotating with DJ Kool Herc, the Jamaican. Spinning breaks at the park, it was history in the making. B-boys hit the floors with titles for the taking. Spit the art for the heart and not for the bacon. The trains in the buildings that were vacant, with a canvas for the graphers that kept the cry line shaking. Authentic, no faking. Take long for people to start the bite. You know your history, the classic example, this rapper's delight. The genre's first national record, half the lyrics the rappers didn't write. But platinum sales propelled the culture worldwide overnight. Now the spotlight was in hip-hop's corner, but soon the DJ, the graph artist, the breaker were gonna. Cause they could only market the MC in a radio format. Soon the other elements got stepped on like a doormat. 1903, let's explore that. Run DMC landed a deal with a label. MTV launched, now America can catch MCs on cable. Eric B, Rock, MPE, BDP showed that hip-hop was stable and not a passing trend. For many it was true love and not a passing friend. The industry wanted the envelope to push and bend. Soon the original identity was about to end. Ushered in the gangster rap era. This soon became a major rap era. Cause now cats make them a bread than Panera. The rhymes even my blood stains and marinara. Bulging egos, bulging stress. And this bulging beat between the east and the west. Blown up by the press to icon murders. Who did it? That's your guess. Hip-hop's in distress, time to decompress. Maybe we should talk about negativity less. This was a vibe for maybe a year at best. But now rappers regularly rock bulletproof vests. It's about your car, your crib, your ice. See the creativity is froze like ice. It cracked like maybe twice. It's obvious the content is stuck in a vice. But they making money, who needs advice? They fell for the material entice. But it's suffice to think more than twice. Cause our shorties in our community's future ain't nice. Our music has power, but what's its purpose? Just to get rich and die is so worthless. Think about it, what does our culture worship? Temporary things, but eternity that search this. Dig deep, you'll find the creator's love that's so perfect. Manifested in Christ, he worked it. He offers forgiveness and hope, that's why I proudly spit him in verses. Florida, I speak life until I meet the coroner. I immigrated to this planet in the 70s. Clever, my life was played way back when in the heavenlies. Urban habitation, no celebrities, just a lot of sweet cats that pretend to be something that they not, have something that they don't.
Becca here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I get to talk to a guy that I think is so cool. I did not want to stop talking to him. Urban D. He is a pastor out of Florida and been rapping for years and years, and he is awesome. Wait till you find out a little bit about Urban D up now. First of all, welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Sure.
Okay, you're not only an artist, but you're a pastor at a church in Florida, a hip-hop church.
Yeah.
Break that down for me, hip-hop church. What's it all about?
Yeah, a lot of people think hip-hop church, that doesn't really sound like it goes together. And then also they'll think that every time we have church, it's just a big concert. And no, we're a real church. We do have real services, and there's worship, and do you preach? Of course we preach, you know. Everything's just geared towards that culture and the music that we have when we have praise and worship. So live DJ on the turntables, playing an instrumental, hip-hop or R&B instrumental. We have a worship team that sings. A lot of the songs people sing at a contemporary or regular church, but it's with a hip-hop flavor. And we do things that are just real visual with, you know, the speaking. We'll do video clips and PowerPoint and just a lot of stuff to make it relevant to the culture that we're reaching.
Sounds very cool. And you brought up relevance. I read a quote from you that said the message must stay the same, must not change, but that the way you deliver it must constantly change to stay relevant. What's that about? Why do you think that's important?
Yeah, we gotta constantly change because we live in a world that's constantly changing, and change isn't a bad thing. And I think a lot of times the church looks at like change like, oh, we gotta stay the way it's always worked. You can see a lot of times it's not working anymore. So, and not that we have to change to become, you know, something that is bad or wrong, but culture, there's a lot of things in culture that aren't bad. You know, music changes, style changes, all those type of things, neutral things. And so the way we present the message of God, you know, and His hope, we've got to continually evaluate that and say, how can we change it? And now with multimedia and, you know, all these cool things we have, we can present God's message in, you know, even a much more visual way, a better way. So where people can say, okay, I get that. It's not over my head. It's not boring. I'm not like, you know, they're like, oh, okay. You know, so we just kind of use the things of the culture, and that's really what I think the church as a whole needs to be trying to do more is, okay, how can we, you know, really make this message more relevant?
Yeah, I think we're, you know, less and less people are going to church, you know, and believe in God, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, our clothes change, you know, the way we speak, our dialects change, you know, why wouldn't, you know, if our music's changed and everything else is changing, why wouldn't the way we deliver God's message change? And He wasn't a static God, you know, He was a creative God, and He's made us like that. So I read that quote, and I'm like, that's so right.
To what they want us to be, and everyone claims it, they original, but they really just like everyone else. And see, I played that game for a minute too, till I decided I was gonna be who I was created to be. Unorthodox. So what's up with you? Unorthodox, trace back my earlier roots. My grandparents immigrated for food, not for loot. It ain't cute when you ain't got nothing to eat. Got no spiritual foundation under your feet.
Man, that's some real heat.
They had no heat.
Man, that's some real street.
They had no street. They had no Christ. They had no peace. But then they met him. Now they really know peace. The new worldview broke tradition. The new worldview promote cultural suspicion. The new worldview, it even brought division. But that same worldview got you listening. It was passed down from my parents to me. I got this unorthodox family tree. You get down with the movement, you can be fan with me. We trying to make this music to make the people free. Unorthodox, we rock your city blocks. We rock the rooftops, we rock your boom box. Unorthodox, we shake your shell tops. We shake your top rock, we shake your boom box. Unorthodox, we break your old clocks. We break your hard knocks, we break your old locks. Unorthodox, we break your stereotypes. We shake a stereo right, we let you know Christ rocks. Grew up a pastor's kid, aka a PK. And Billy Kid, it's hip-hop every day. It's so easy to stray with no street lights. Found myself browsing the wrong sites. Those are some long nights, spiritually some real fights. Till I stopped fighting and I dropped my rights and got connected and let him edit my profile. MySpace used to be so violent, so wild. How a software can clean your hard drive and make you a new child. This new community with all the friends I've made. Check my music player, all the songs they played, all the comments saved. My tour dates, all the places I played. It's an unorthodox page, cause of the path he paid, cause of the price he paid. My lifestyle reps Christ, cause of the life he gave. Unorthodox, we rock your city blocks. We rock your rooftops, we rock your boom box. Unorthodox, we shake your shell tops. We shake your top rock, we shake your boom box. Unorthodox, we break your old clocks. We break your hard knocks, we break your old locks. Unorthodox, we break your stereotypes. We shake a stereo right, we let you know Christ rocks. On my journeys, people ask my occupation. I tell them I'm a pastor and an artist, there's amazement. Engagement. Sometimes I wish I could take their look and frame it. They can't picture a cat that's braided, cause the old school presentation got them jaded. But so many people waited for a ministry out the box with no cultural locks. Over church, unorthodox dreadlocks, fades and fitteds. A multicultural faith community that's committed to the Great Commandment and the Great Commission. We orthodox in our beliefs, but not in our fiction. We in the biblical context and not tradition, cause we're more concerned about your heart's condition. We got a passion from God, so we're purpose driven. We look just like you, but we found what's missing. Unorthodox, we rock your city blocks, we rock your rooftops, we rock your boondocks. Unorthodox, we shake your shell tops, we shake your top rock, we shake your boombox. Unorthodox, we break your old clocks, we break your hard knocks, we break your old locks. Unorthodox, we break your stereotypes, we shake your stereo right, we let you know Christ rocks.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Urban D, and I'm coming at you right here, live and direct, and you watching The Zone. Keep it locked, don't go nowhere.
What inspires you? How do you, go about, writing your lyrics and doing all this? How do you, what do you find for inspiration?
I think a lot of everyday life inspires me, and being in ministry in an urban environment all the time and just dealing with people and being in relationships with people. And every service we have at our church, we have, people that don't go to church or haven't been in church in 10 years. They'll walk in and, share their problems, and you can just see what they're going through. And you're able to experience a lot because I'm part of it. I'm there all the time. And so a lot of times you'll get inspiration from that. And a lot of my music will speak to kind of address issues and address needs that people have. And so me being in that environment, I can always see what the latest needs are and what people are going through currently in culture. So a lot of times that'll inspire me. Good things inspire me too, and to see what God's doing and see lives change. It's definitely something that you want to share about and talk about.
Got my man K-Drama, D-Mob on the track, some of the funniest cats I know. Let's start a revolution.
When I say love, y'all say revolution. Love, revolution, love, revolution. When I say Christ, y'all say the solution. Christ, the solution. Christ, the solution.
I got a question. Can anybody out there tell me what love is? It's an action done in privacy as well as public. For some folk it's difficult understanding the subject, cause they let their pride overtake and hover above it. It's an action, something you display. Love never fails and never changes from day to day. Love is always telling you to be careful with what you say and lead you back in the right direction when you go astray. And can you give it even if it's never given to you? And if you can, that's evidence that he's living through you. It's never hating, always optimistic. Speaking the heavenly language and not explicit. In love, you will always find that security. Get you right, free you from all types of impurities. To the average, what it takes to love is odd. But see, D-Mob know what love is God.
When I say love, y'all say revolution. Love, revolution, love, revolution. When I say Christ, y'all say the solution. Christ, the solution. Christ, the solution. When I say love, y'all say revolution. Love, revolution, love, revolution. When I say Christ, y'all say the solution. Christ, the solution. Christ, the solution.
There's no substitution for this thing called love, but Christ was a substitution when he shed his blood. And there's a whole flood, a description through the scriptures that defines agape, so you won't get it twisted. It's listed, check Paul's epistles, and in the gospel Christ rocks the bells and whistles. It sizzles like some spoil that's straight off the grill. La palabra de Dios always gives you a balanced meal that's seasoned with love like adobo. That's why me and K-Drama and D-Mob take it global, cause actions speak louder than vocals. I pray you see our actions clearer than my vocals, and breathe this love like you got no moguls. It's crazy love like Francis Chan or more local, cause it's for the white, black, yellow, and cocoa. Can't say nothing nice, cállate tu boca.
When I say love, y'all say revolution. Love, revolution, love, revolution. When I say Christ, y'all say the solution. Christ, the solution. Christ, the solution. When I say love, y'all say revolution. Love, revolution, love, revolution. When I say Christ, y'all say the solution. Christ, the solution. Christ, the solution.
I sit back and imagine the passion of Christ acted out. What would be the reaction? Picture treating others how we want to be treated. Stare sin in his face, praise God defeated. Heal flesh with kindness, bring sight to the blinded. Help them love themselves, show them how to find it. Come on. In Christ, we're made complete in him. He designed us for his purpose, limb by limb. Now they love themselves, smiling from bliss. Not with ulterior motives that come with a pitch, but overjoyed and failures that they made the switch. From darkness to light, climbed out the ditch. So if we love God and others, if we love ourselves, our Lies would be driven by the shells. The Bible, the way, truth, life, the solution to what we desire. A love revolution.
When I say love, y'all say revolution. Love, revolution, love, revolution. When I say Christ, y'all say the solution. Christ, the solution. Christ, the solution. When I say love, y'all say revolution. Love, revolution, love, revolution. When I say Christ, y'all say the solution. Christ, the solution. Christ, the solution.
Scripture says something real revolutionary, says they'll know us by our love. So go love on some
I'm
people.
sweating in this booth for you.
It is hot.
Feeling this one. Thanks for getting me on the track.
Sure.
Bang, 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 bing, 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 bing.
So what makes you, your mission or your vision different than other hip-hop artists or artists in general?
I think that, my mission maybe as a whole is not different because I know most other artists that, have a belief in God are trying to also communicate that through their music and their artistry. But I think the thing that makes me a little bit different and unique is that I'm also in full-time ministry outside of my music as well. I'm a pastor, and I was a youth pastor for 6 years, but now I've been a pastor. The word senior pastor.
Ooh.
No, I don't like the word senior. Just to say I'm the pastor. You don't even have to call me pastor, but so that kind of puts a real different dynamic on it. And having to be at a church plugged in, and our church has grown incredibly. We have hundreds of members now, and most of them are younger adults in their 20s and 30s, some in their 40s, and of course we have several hundred teens as well. But dealing with people's needs every week and ministering to them and discipling them, I look at, an artist, a lot of us, we're evangelists when we go out. We're at all these different concerts on tour. We share our hearts, we share our music and our message, and then we're gone. So we touch people, but then we're gone, and the other people have to disciple them and follow up. Well, I do that as well, but then when I go home, that's the group of people that I disciple. And most artists don't have, they don't kind of walk in that, in those kind of shoes. So that makes it a little different for me. And but it's an awesome thing. It's tough because it's like 2 full-time jobs, but that's what God has me doing, and it's exciting.
Skin deep is getting down to the bone. When it comes to this country's issues of skin tone, mi corazón is broken. You see where I grew up, and yo, racial slurs were rarely spoken. And if there was, most people was just joking. We was all in the same boat, struggling to change for a bus token. But then I was awoken to this thing called prejudice. At the age of 16, the city of Philly, I left. I wasn't down. My family moved to a small town. I felt some tension, cause my skin is slightly brown. Once I was a new kid from the city, the outsider. Our cultural differences to others became a divider. I was amazed, cause this wasn't the way I was raised. I grew up with Italians, blacks, Puerto Ricans, Koreans. But anyway, 3 years later I came down south to college. The hate between skin tones I couldn't help but acknowledge. I felt racism from both whites and blacks. Plus I was a Yankee, was like a catch-22. Quite frankly, I was getting cranky. When will people learn? It's 1999, why do crosses on front lawn still burn? Racial reconciliation is for what I yearn. All this hating, yo, is just a tool of Satan. The time is now for healing, we can't keep waiting. We're all equal, we're all the same. Christ's blood was for the black, the white, the Jew, the Gentile, the free, the slave. Let's squash all the stereotypes in Jesus' name. Known to separate residential zones, deny people loans, and generation to generation create clones. In the way of thought, cerebellum can't be bought. Unlearn what you've been taught. See, since the Tower of Babel, people fought against racial injustice. Pull up a chair, son. It's time we discuss this. Like a chat room, from the cocoon to the tomb, this epidemic brings gloom. So like a camera lens, I zoom. the source. This virus can be deadly if you let it run its course. It's my resource, so my perception is colorblind. So whether you drive a Lex or stand in a free lunch line, I let my light shine to all nationalities, colors, and creeds. I repel negativity like wax does water beads. Everybody bleeds. Last I checked, the color was red. Let's focus on our similarities instead. I've read all kinds of books, received all kinds of looks. This thing called skin tone, it's got hooks in the flesh of all society. It's an attitude that's definitely gained notoriety. An alarm clock is what I'm trying to be, to awake you from your spiritual condition. Escúchame, listen, the situation's fragile like nitroglycerin. I lead this expedition through the colors of a prison, but so many people on lockdown like prison to racism. Man, I thought you knew, if you let the problem brew, it would become permanent like a tattoo.
Tell me, what do you see?
What do you see?
See my soul. See my skin tone. Is it my personality? The energy create.
Yeah, let's shoot. Why don't you step up to the microphone next, kid?
You make my skin tone.
I distribute teachings to those who are seeking.
Elevation.
Through the Father of creation, nowadays congregations are mixed up like a
population. And to them, respect is due. Now let's join forces and delete those who haven't grew.
free or bound.
Gentile or Jew.
God has a purpose, but knowing is worthless if His love doesn't live inside of you.
So what controls you? Take a deep inspection of your heart's condition towards people that are different than you. Re-educate your mind. Learn to focus on what we have in common instead of our differences. Cause in God's eyes, there is no skin tone. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Urban D, and I'm coming at you right here, live and direct, and you watching The Zone. Keep it locked, don't go nowhere.
Christopher.
The gospel official, each and everywhere in the world. So you have no fear, just rise and stand for the Lord. The gospel official, each and everywhere in the world. So you don't be scared, just rise and speak for the Lord.
We're living the most advanced culture this planet has ever seen, but it's unheard. That's absurd, man, how could it be? It's the powers that be, broadband and 4G. It reach right into your home, your pocket, your screen. Check your average teen, post their worldview, the channels they view, the websites they view, the lifestyles they view, the trials they go through. It's ugly, my dude, that's why it's time to renew. But God's message is already streamed through these pipelines, but it seems like there might as well be ice lines. That's why our type lines, our Skype lines, we connected to the right vine. Harvest is the right time, but the branches don't speak the current language. They spit in Spaniard, Spanish, the culture speaking Spanglish. From San Juan to Anchorage, the people languish. The gospel's unheard, the culture's in anguish.
So youths and youths, me a tell you no, rise up. Youths and youths, me a beg you no, stand up. Don't ever be ashamed of the name of Jesus. Youths and youths, me a beg you no, stand up. So when them come with them false doctrine, dash it away. It seems like everything is hard but Jesus' name. So no more hiding, no more denying. All of the gospel, I'll never be ashamed.
The worst part of it is when they hear the gospel, but it's not really the gospel. It's watered down with additives they add in. Like the gospel ain't enough. I mean, it's cool that he saved us, but what about the status of your bank account? Wouldn't life be better with a bigger amount? He said count the cost before you take up your cross. Add it up is what you gain, worth the pleasures you lost. All the false gods you used to bow to, but now you are loose from your sin and bound to the spirit of God, totally made new. The one who created you, coming to your rescue. You didn't even know you were drowning. He saved you, that's how you found him. Life spring fountain, everlasting stream. The church is the bride, he's the better half. More than we could ever ask for, that's what he gave. The good news, the only way for sinners to be saved.
Said the gospel official, every crevice and corner of the earth. may not stop the work till every single nation has heard. And heard. Said the gospel of his share every crevice and corner in the earth. And heard. I may not stop this work till all our creation has heard.
So many believers don't spit it, or they spit it wrong, or they spit it in a way it doesn't get heard at all. So we spit it strong, spit it in song. The gospel's really simple, doesn't have to be long. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying do it my way. Just show them Yahweh, put them on display like the book of Acts, be part of the way. Authentically imitate, better than Tina Fey. Don't let your character get sketchy, never stray from the text. God give us his best. Son came down in a quest and got dressed in flesh and showed us how to do it. Check Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You see that he was so fluent. Showed us how to live, how to love, how to lead. Showed us how to lay down his life and how to bleed for a people that didn't deserve it. He loves us, forgives us, be heard. We were created to worship.
And heard. Said the gospel of his share every crevice and corner of the earth. And heard. And may not stop the work till every single nation has heard. And heard. Said the gospel of his share every crevice and corner in the earth. And heard. I may not stop this work till all our creation has heard.
If you have like 1 minute or less, I guess 45 seconds to say something to kids who are watching, who aren't, Christians or who don't know about this kind of stuff, what would you say to them about walking with God?
I would definitely say that God is real and he is, you can have a relationship with him. That's what he wants. And it's not all about rules and this and religion. It's about a relationship. And he has an incredible plan for you. He's, all of us have dreams. And if you give your life to him, he'll take you way beyond what you could ever imagine. That's what he's done with me. Because before I was trying to fill my life with all these other things and it was just empty until I really got down with my creator. Now my life is full and it has meaning and purpose to it.
That's awesome.
I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corridor, from New York City all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. Yo, I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corridor, from Tokyo, Japan, all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. I immigrated to this planet in the 70s. Cleverly. My life was planned way back when in the heavenlies. Urban habitation, no celebrities, just a lot of street cats that pretend to be something that they not. Have something that they don't, do something that they want, like mainstream hip-hop. Yo, I tried to blend in with my surroundings like a submarine taking soundings. My foundings astounding. This lifestyle had no depth. The best secret kept, it's false pressure, dog, don't hold your breath. Many get comfortable in this atmosphere, don't realize the spirit levels, they suffocating fornication and meet their death. That's why I keep the passport within reach. Daily read my instruction manual and teach. My word is born, I won't breach this contract. In contact with the homeland, stay focused on the exodus. Don't put my trust in no man. 'Cause I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corridor, from Philly, PA, all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. 'Cause I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corridor, from Houston, Texas, all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. Tears fill my eyes as I see many of us become Americanized, as our lifestyle just becomes disguised. Like a true head switching up the suits and ties. It's like a Boricua drop at open pollo, burgers and fries. Every day original flavor dies. Dangerous mixtures, blended elixirs. See, nowadays across on the chains of common fix. Everybody's down with each other, which creates a blurry picture. There's no absolutes. The masses forgot their roots. Even though I spit 3 chapters, peeps a word and compromise a day after you hear the laughter. It's 'cause we look confused. The freedom in Christos got abused. Your members getting buzzed on brew. Next stay warm in pews, looking like some ancient Hebrews. You want respect? Actions speak louder than words. My people, come on, y'all, pay your dues. 'Cause I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corridor, from Columbus, Ohio, all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. 'Cause I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corridor, from Los Angeles, Cali, all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. I'm just a cat in my 20s, but I might seem foreign 'cause I don't rhyme about ice and honeys. Whips are making monies, that commercial education's for dummies. So don't hate me or love me, either way this this world's ugly. Some wanna slug me among me with conscious people wanna hug me. But a bug that a thug be alienated from this message. Like rugby, it's aggressive, they'll drug me. Get possessive, your love be so expressive. They'll plug me, you're impressive. On the contrary, this coach should be excessive on the temporary. It's scary how they worship rap icons and even Halle Berry. The mentality just drink and be merry. But that's Hollywood, videos and MTV cribs. Material things equals happiness, it's all fibs. I keep it original, I keep it simple in it. All of my gigs, I keep it Christ, yo. That's how this immigrant lives. Cause I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corridor. From Washington D.C. all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. Cause I'm an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. I represent my beliefs in every single corner. From Detroit, MI, all the way to Tampa, Florida. I speak life until I meet the coroner. All my immigrants, throw your hands up if you got the freedom. I got the freedom. I got the freedom. All my immigrants, throw your hands up if you got Christ and you need him. I need him, I need him, I need him. All my immigrants, throw your hands up if you got the freedom. I got the freedom. I got the freedom. All my immigrants, throw your hands up if you got Christ and you need him. I need him, I need him, I need him. Yo, like my man Peter said, you a believer in Christ? We're all just aliens, foreigners, strangers on this planet. Our true citizenship is in heaven. So if that's you, don't get comfortable here, cause we're just immigrants.
Spell your name the way you want it to appear.
URBAN space D dot. Urban
dot.
D.
Oh, didn't get another
Let's
dot.
put a little
It's
dot
all
on
right.
there. The D stands for something, but
Urban Disciple, right? Used to be
Yeah.
Disciple, right? Okay.
yeah. We just
Actually,
made it D.
hold on, I'm gonna scoot back a little bit because
We changed it about 4 years ago.
Okay.
People still call me that all the time. No, it's just D.
Why'd you drop the Disciple? Why'd you drop that?
Just because so many people were calling me Urban D, and it was like longer, like two like disciples, kind of a long word. So we're just like, let's make it Urban D. It sounds a little more,
More edgy.
yeah, a little more unchurchy too.
Yeah.
Not that disciple's totally a church word, but
I hear you.
so
are you ready to speak? So I'm ready.
some people thought it was a gang.
Your discretion.
It's a gang, the Urban Disciples.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got because there's gangs in Chicago called like the Black Disciples, the Latin Disciples. Yeah, so I was
Wow.
like, no, it's not. It's about Jesus.
We're the Jesus gang.
All right, Becca, here
Okay.
we go. 3, 2,
Okay.
1.
Which way do I look?
Look at me and ignore the
Okay.
camera for now.
Okay.
First of all, welcome. Thank you so much for coming.